Welcome back to Velshi and Rule. The Democratic debates featuring more than a dozen candidates are now over, and the contenders are now scrambling to meet the criteria for the September debate. Now, for that, the DNC effectively doubled its criteria. Candidates must poll at 2% in 4 approved national polls and have at least 130,000 unique donors. And they don't have that long. The deadline to qualify is August the 28th. So far, these 8 candidates have made the cut. Joining me now is a man who hopes to make that September debate stage a 9-candidate event, businessman and presidential candidate Andrew Yang. Andrew, good to see you again. Thank you for joining me.
Hey, it's great to be here. Thanks for having me, Ali.
The DNC announced this week the candidates have got to count 2 polls that were sponsored by NBC as 1 poll. Had they been counted separately, you'd qualify for the next debate. So now you've got another hurdle to overcome. How do you push yourself over the top on another poll by the end of the month?
Well, we think we're going to get that 4th poll either Monday or Tuesday of next week. As you know, we've already crossed the 130,000 donor threshold. We're well over 150,000 donors. We raised over $500,000 just in the 24 hours after the debate on Wednesday night. So you'll see we'll be candidate number 9 on Monday or Tuesday of next week.
All right, then what happens? Now the field is narrowing. Is that good or bad for you? I think it could be bad in that the main candidates, the ones polling the most, will get a lot of the attention, but you've got a chance to appear on the stage with some candidates who are polling quite well, and you haven't actually had a chance to debate.
Oh, I think it's great for us because the fact is a lot of Americans are still just tuning in, and people who are looking for an alternative to the front runners, many of them are going to end up coming to me in my campaign. So a shrinking field is going to be good for the candidates who are still in the running and on that debate stage in September in Houston.
You've got a lot of very interesting policies. You and I have had a chance to discuss that for a while. Where do you think the American voter, the Democratic voter and the American voter is, though, in terms of your sophisticated policies, including a version of a universal basic income, versus the idea that whoever is there has got to have the firepower to defeat Donald Trump?
Well, the tremendous thing is that Americans are still learning about me and my policies. We had hundreds of thousands of people go to yang2020.com, and the policy page was the most popular page on the website. So Americans are smarter than we often give them credit for. My slogan, well, that the opposite of Donald Trump is an Asian man who likes math. Math is actually an acronym for Make America Think Harder. We have to put our confidence in the American people that we can solve the real problems of the 21st century.
So if you had to take an approach sort of like Jay Inslee does, with climate being the main thing, what's yours? Because you talk a lot about job creation. You talk a lot about the jobs of the future and how, in fact, many of them are going to go away as a result of automation. So we've got to figure out a way that everybody has enough money to live. Is it worth focusing on that and centering your candidacy around the idea that you are the jobs and work and income candidate?
Yes, and I'm also the climate change candidate. Certainly, I was gloomy on debate night in terms of the trends, which are very, very, unfortunately, negative. But we can upgrade our infrastructure. We can create hundreds of thousands of green jobs. I'm aligned with Jay Inslee and most of the other Democratic candidates that this is an existential threat, and we need to invest hundreds of billions, trillions of dollars over time. And the great thing is there's a huge need, but also it will create a lot of work for many thousands of Americans, and that's the direction we should go.
All right, people have been Googling you. They've been trying to figure out who this Andrew Yang is. And one of the things that intrigues people is this concept of a universal basic income. Everybody in America gets a certain amount of money just for being who they are. Our viewers from Alaska would understand this a little bit. Tell us, now that you've got the focus of the national voter on you at the moment, what does that look like?
Well, I'm so glad you cited the Alaska example. They've had a dividend in place for almost 40 years, and it's wildly popular. Everyone in Alaska is getting between $1,000 and $2,000 a year, and they love it. And what I'm saying to the American people is that technology is the oil of the 21st century. And what they're doing for the people of Alaska with oil money, we can do for all Americans with technology money. $1,000 a month for every adult would be a game changer for millions of American families. And I think on Wednesday night, we opened a lot of people's eyes to the fact that we can do this. As a democracy, there's nothing stopping a majority of us from voting ourselves a freedom dividend of $1,000 a month.
You talked at the debate about not worrying so much about humans coming and taking our jobs as robots coming and taking our jobs.
Yeah, you know, a lot of the time we're scapegoating immigrants for economic issues that they have nothing to do with. And what I said on the debate night, I'm still here in Detroit, as you can tell from the background. But if you go to a factory here in Michigan, you're not going to find wall-to-wall immigrants. You're going to find wall-to-wall robots and machines. The facts show that 80% of manufacturing job loss was due to automation and technology. And that's, you know, true not just in manufacturing, but it's also going to be true in retail and call centers and transportation. So we need to wake up to the real challenges of the 21st century economy. And unfortunately, those challenges are just growing by the day.
Andrew, good to talk to you again. Thank you for being with us. We'll, of course, keep in close touch with you as you proceed toward making it as the ninth candidate on that debate stage. Andrew Yang is a presidential
I'll see you back in New York, Ali. Always a pleasure.
Hey, MSNBC fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down there and click on any of the videos here to watch the latest interviews and highlights. You can get more MSNBC for free every day with our newsletters. Just visit msnbc.com/newsletters to sign up now.